the NBA playoffs on EA Sports. And this, a pivotal Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals. We are at Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. Tonight, it's the LA Lakers playing host to the LA Clippers. Hi, everyone. Ed Cohen with Jay Williams. Jay, you look at the Clippers coming into play. They held their ground in the first two games at their place. Now the test begins as they take the 2-0 lead on the road.
And you know, the first two games held the form. But now the series shifts. So this crowd is going to need to give them everything they can for an advantage. Even though this isn't a must-win, they need to play like it is because you don't want to be down 3-0.
Beverly to Paul George. To Ibaka. Anthony Davis able to recover with the block.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
Oh, Dennis Schroeder missed his first. That one goes.
And attention to detail is everything for a professional scorer like that. Actually getting it done the hard way, though.
Paul George to Beverly. Reset here. Let's see what they do. Shot from in close, no good. To James. Kuzma. James to Schroeder. And scores. Plus the foul. Patented move for Anthony Davis. And a chance at three.
People become so fixated on the hands or the arms or the strengths of the arms. I look at the legs. The strength of his legs help him power through that play. That's how you get and ones.
Anthony Davis at the line for a chance at a three-point play. For his career, 79% at the line. Free throw is good. Gets the three-point play. It's quickly 5-0. Beverly into the front court. He'll run the offense. Goes to the left side. Batum. For three. His first effort off the mark. To Schroeder. Down low for Davis. Another chance. Offensive board. Serge Ibaka tips it. And that'll get out of bounds. Last touch by the Clippers. Kuzma. To Davis. Anthony Davis. 2-4 now.
Old school equals high percentage.
LA Clippers with the basketball. George to Marcus Morris. Anthony Davis. Huge block.
That's why a rim protector is a necessity in this game.
Schroeder to Davis. Beverly into the front court. They trail by 7. Trying to cash in. Off the mark. He's made those before, but that was well defended.
And that's how you make a difference. Every shot that the offense takes, make sure that it has a 10 as far as degree of difficulty.
Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down. Safe to say, notice has been served.
Sometimes things go good, other times things go great. Everything going that team's way right now.
Paul George to Batum. Five seconds to shoot. Paul George fires deep two there. Won't go.
Let's be realistic. He's probably not going to miss a lot of shots. But the more effort you can give, you want to try to tire him out. Take his legs away. Make him work to catch the ball. That's how you win a defensive battle.
Anthony Davis. He's 3 of 5. 60% shooting from the field.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Anthony Davis swats it. That's his third block this evening. Caldwell Pope against Paul George. To Davis. Has a look. The shot no good for Davis.
The contest was good, but you being a nuisance was great. Continue to be that gnat that no matter how many times you swing at it, it never goes away.
And the rebound pulled down by Davis. Los Angeles has the basketball. Schroeder against George. Beverly into the front court. Down 11. To Nick Batum. Here comes the screen. George to Ibaka. Slams it down. And there was no stopping him that time.
I mean, if you have athletic ability like that guy offensively, as soon as you beat your man, if you don't beat him off the ground for the jump, you have no chance.
And he's fouled. Davis going to the line for 2.
Trust me, you want to avoid early foul trouble. Take that one as a warning.
Anthony Davis has got 2 shots coming. He's perfect from the line so far. First free throw is good. And gets both to drop at the line. Paul George to Batum. Nothing going here on that drive. And the rebound taken by Caldwell Pope. Across midcourt, it's Schroeder. The lead is 11. No, I missed a short one there.
You see, this is something that everybody has, but some people choose to use it or not. I'm glad you choose to use effort on getting around those screens.
LeBron James sends it away. And the Lakers able to grab the rebound. Caldwell Pope to Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma, strong finish. They have set the tone in this one.
I love when I see offenses come out in beast mode. You attack that paint, you get to the rim, inevitably the floor will open up for you to knock down some threes.
Batum to Ibaka. Off the mark. To Caldwell Pope. They'll get it down to Davis. Can't connect from in close. Beverly into the front court. His guys currently down by 13. To Ibaka. George. Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
You feel that? I see the confidence building.
LBJ has it. To Caldwell Pope. Takes stock of the floor. Anthony Davis. Now 4 for 9.
This has been a good first quarter for him so far. That wasn't an easy shot, but he was able to knock it down and add to their lead.
Paul George to Nick Batum. Has a chance. Not that time. To Schroeder. Had a good look there, but it's no good. To George. To Marcus Morris. From the outside, no good. Here's Schroeder with it. The advantage is 13 points. Beverly into the front court. Looking to make something happen. To Paul George. Paul George. First couple didn't go. That one is true.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Now the Lakers are going to call a timeout as they'll go over some tactics now in this first quarter of play. Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor. To Davis, down low. Anthony Davis, now shooting 45%.
There are certain guys in this league that should be put on alert status 24/7 because either they're posterizing you or that attempt can still be a poster.
Oh, good defense by the Lakers. They come away with the steal. Goes to the right side. Trying to cash in. Wide open look. Won't go.
The defense has to find a way to become mentally present in this ball game. Another open look, the offense is picking them apart.
Leonard to Marcus Morris. Shot clock. It's coming down to 4. Now down to 3. To J.R. Smith. They go down to Davis. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
Hey, you ever bail out of something at the last second? That's what I saw right there from the defender. We call that no man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
Anthony Davis trying to cash in on a three-point play. Hasn't missed yet. Free throw's good as they continue to widen their lead. To Batum. Baseline drive. Batum to Leonard. Gets a look. Can't hit.
Woo! I like that intensity on that play. That's how you actually dig in the dirt and do your job on the defensive end.
To Davis. Around the perimeter. The drive. Right to the basket. Short jumper. Won't fall. Batum. Cleaning the offensive glass. Basket's good on the follow. Way to stay with it.
It's going to be a long road back, I'm not going to lie to you. But it's only the first quarter, and that's exactly what you needed. You needed to see the ball go in a couple of times.
The pass taken away by the Clippers. Rondo in a matchup with Quinn Cook. Drive here, but the shot stays out. count the basket.
As a player, there's nothing better than coming out in the first quarter and playing exactly the same way you played the last couple of days of practice. You're moving the ball, you're capitalizing on mistakes, and you really built a nice lead.
The 2021 NBA Playoffs 3-round games and highlights will be coming up next on Sports Groove in 2021.
No good. Rondo with the basketball. His guys down big. Batum against Markieff Morris. A drive down the lane, but the shot won't go. Smith, bad pass there. Clippers have it. Here comes the screen. Rondo up against Cook. To Nick Batum. Driving right to the basket. Batum. Just inside the arc. At the buzzer. Rajon Rondo. Couple of free throws on the way. He wants this number up. 60%.
The New York Knicks led Series 1-0 over Brooklyn Nets in the 2021 NBA Playoffs 3-round Season 8 games.
Able to convert on both free throws. That's the end of one here in game number 3. Jay and I return in a moment. This is the Western Conference Finals on EA Sports. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. Rondo into the front court. 14-point deficit to Leonard. Screen coming. Oh, highlight moves. Tough to pull off with the defender all over you. Rondo. Not that time.
And this happens all the time in this league. Sometimes offensively, you're tired. It's one of those type of nights. You combine that with the fact that the defense is hungry and active and contesting everything, that's why shots aren't dropping.
To Davis. Missed it. Almost a foul. They let it go. Another follow. No good. Here's Rondo with it. Down 12. To Leonard.
The Los Angeles Clippers led Series 2-0 over Los Angeles Lakers in the 2021 NBA Playoffs 3-round Season 8 games.
He'll run the offense. To Drummond. Kuzma. To Davis. Short jumper won't go down.
I love when I see a good contest. You're crowding the player's landing space, which naturally makes him worrisome about turning an ankle on that landing.
Cook to bring it into the front court. It's an 8-point lead. To Kyle Kuzma. To Davis. Short jumper off the mark. Into the front court comes Rondo. Down 8. And he's fouled. Very close, Jay. Free throws coming up.
I don't know about that one, Ed. I always thought your hand was part of the ball.
Rajon Rondo at the line for 2 shots. He's perfect from the line so far. Can't connect on the first free throw. Second one goes. It's a 1 of 2 trip. Now the Lakers going to use a timeout as they'll talk things over here in the second quarter. Coach has seen enough. He wants some changes. New personnel onto the floor. James to J.R. Smith. And the reward, he's going to the line.
I say this a lot, and it's only because coaches harp on it all the time. Read the scouting reports. Know who you can and should send to the line. This is a case of knowing a shooter probably had a better chance of hitting a jumper than he does of hitting the free throws.
Two for two on that trip. George to Marcus Morris. Leonard to Beverly. Goes to the left side. L.A. with 4 to shoot. Paul George to Beverly. Has a chance. Knocks it down from mid-range.
If you're coaching against this player, you have to throw some fake traps, some fake schemes. How are you making this player think instead of just naturally reacting?
Nothing going here on that drive. James. So the first points for him in this first half, and he knocks it down for 3.
Yeah, they really need him to get going. Really surprised that none of his teammates have been talking to him. This is when he needs him the most. They have to uplift him, help him continue to be confident on the court.
Beverly to Leonard. Nothing going here on that drive.
Screen coming your way, screen coming your way.
5 to shoot. And he buries it.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
To James. LeBron James. He is shooting well. He's made 2/3 of his shots. Jay, what makes LeBron so special on the offensive end?
Well, first and foremost, look at that frame. 6'9", 265 pounds. With the agilities of a guard, he can blow by you. If he dips that shoulder, there's no way. There is nobody in the NBA that can guard that man one-on-one.
And he's going to the line to shoot.
Love the fact that the shooter created contact on the upward motion to shoot the basketball. Big-time play.
Paul George has got 2 shots coming. A career 84% free throw shooter. First one, count it. Goes 2 for 2.
Shot, bro.
Schroeder with the basketball. His team on top by 8. Screen coming. James to Drummond. Oh, had him going there for a second. Chance for LeBron James. No good. Beverly into the front court. Margins 8. George to Batum. Ibaka to Nick Batum. Baseline drive. Shot from the lane won't go. Lakers ball. Schroeder to Drummond. The big fella, Andre Drummond. He's finally on the board. Makes his first shot.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
No good. Oh, it looked like he may have gotten him there. Caldwell Pope against Paul George. James. Beverly into the front court, trailing by 10. Just off the mark.
Let's be realistic. He's probably not going to miss a lot of shots. But the more effort you can give, you want to try to tire him out. Take his legs away. Make him work to catch the ball. That's how you win a defensive battle.
Nothing going here on that drive. Paul George, 2-of-4 now.
And last year, it seemed like PG really had a difficult time finding that next-level elite PG. No doubt about it, this year, he needs to be playoff P all day, every day.
Nothing going here on that drive. James can't connect.
The contest was good, but you being a nuisance was great. Continue to be that gnat that no matter how many times you swing at it, it never goes away.
Andre Drummond snatching it out of the air.
You know why? I don't see anybody on the defensive end standing up out of position. I see everybody squatted down, really active with their hands. That's the mentality that will lead you to where you want to go.
Five to shoot for Los Angeles. James, and knocks it down. Jay, for the defender, tough to gamble once the ball's behind the arc.
Well, that change is inevitable. And one of the things that continues to fascinate me about this game, usually when you see a good three-point shooting team, their shoulders are square to the basket. That's no longer the case in today's game. These guys are off balance, they're moving different ways, yet they still have extreme shot-making ability.
James to Drummond. Lakers down to 4 on the shot clock. Caldwell Pope to James. Beyond the arc for 3. That's what the King does. James, the quick catch and shoot there for 3.
Ed, let me tell you how this one goes. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have some. Everyone's getting a piece of the rock tonight.
Both teams tweaking their lineups. Here come some changes. Beverly to George. Serge Ibaka slams it down. Gotta love the rim rockers.
Gotta be careful, though. Don't hang on the rim too long. You might get a tee.
It's James controlling the offense. To Kyle Kuzma. To James. Trying to cash in. LeBron James. With that shot, he's 5 for 8.
You see, the savvy players, they can create contact. They can throw their arms into you, even their bodies into you, and as soon as the refs blow the whistle once or twice and you become hesitant defensively, they got you right where they want you.
Paul George. Layup's good. Those are the types of shots you always strive for.
Strong finish. That's what you need, regardless of contact, focusing on the rim.
James to Kyle Kuzma. Nothing going here on that drive. It's James. He continues to shoot it well from beyond the arc. That's 4 threes now in this first half.
Yeah, and confidence comes from discipline and training. You can tell that kid's been putting in the time in the gym.
To Beverly. Patrick Beverly. Tough shooting. Only 2 for 6 after that make.
Hand down, man down. You got to get up and contest the shot.
Nothing going here on that drive. To Schroeder. James. Gets it in the left corner. George against Schroeder. To Beverly. Andre Drummond with the block.
This game is all about playing mind tricks on people. The offense is more worried about getting their shot blocked than they are about actually making the shot.
To Paul George. Nothing going here on that drive. Beverly to George. The Clippers with 4 to shoot. It's George for 2. Swallowed up by Drummond. Caldwell Pope. Tough matchup against George. Throws it down.
Like my old coach used to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's way too easy. Just keep attacking. It's easy money.
Now the Clippers call a timeout as they'll take a moment to go over things here in the second quarter. Looks like both teams are making substitutions. Anthony Davis sends it away. 4th this contest. Lakers at the controls right now. Screen coming. Tough shot and nearly a chance at a 3-point play. No foul.
Bread and butter. And there are a few that can do it better off the screen.
Beverly to Paul George. To Marcus Morris. Fires the 3. Contested shot, Marcus Morris can't hit.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
From the painted area, won't go down. Just inside the arc, at the buzzer. So the 2 teams will head to the locker room as we reach the break here in game number 3. Let's get you to our NBA Live studios in Orlando and hand it over to Jalen Rose for our EA Sports halftime report. Jalen.
Thanks, Ed. Let's get right into the action here. The Lakers didn't hold back in that opening half. It was their playmaking, the way they gave each other scoring opportunities. That really impresses me. I love seeing unselfish basketball like that. These are the guys getting buckets for the Los Angeles Lakers. The Clippers have yet to appear after one half of basketball. There isn't enough time to get into all of their problems, but I'll tell you this, they need to try to get better. These are the guys getting buckets for the Los Angeles Clippers.
Game track. Blocks.
The Los Angeles Lakers have been making the kind of defensive impact that can affect the team mentally. After a lot of those blocks, you'll start to see guys more hesitant and second-guessing shot opportunities.
Player of the half.
Anthony Davis has been making the competition look silly on the defensive end.
Who was cold?
Forget cold. This guy will be happy to be lukewarm at this point. He can't seem to get anything going. Here we go with the top 3 plays.
Number 2. Number 1.
And with that, I'm sending it back to Ed and Jay to bring you the rest of the game.
Clippers have the basketball. George to Batum. The drive, right to the basket. Short jumper off the mark. Serge Ibaka. Oh, 3 for 8. He's got to do better.
The one thing we know for certain in this league, it doesn't matter how big the margin is, you can always put together a run and get back in this one.
James, down low for Kuzma. Good look that time, but off the mark.
And that's next level defense. The defender took away the pocket space of the shooter. Now as a shooter, they shoot hundreds of shots each and every day from that pocket with consistency. Now you force them to change the angle or the positioning of that pocket, you're going to lower the chances of them making that shot.
To George. 4-3. Paul George locked in. Hits the tough 3. Jay, when you break down Paul George, where is he at his best?
He needs to be engaged. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to be needed. And that's the biggest thing for Paul George. When he's the guy offensively and he makes those clutch shots, it re-engages him defensively. And that drives him to be the best version of Paul George there is.
Beverly to Paul George. Lakers come up with it. Down low for Davis. Ah, missed it. How'd that not go down?
When I hear these excuses after games, when coaches are at podium saying, it's hard for us to find our energy back, we couldn't find our aggression back, I wonder whose fault that is, Coach.
To James. He was smothered and still gets it to go down.
I don't know if the scouting report has made its way out here yet, but if anything, it says you need to not let him get that close to the rim.
Paul George. Los Angeles, they have it. Kuzma to Caldwell Pope. Missed a wide open look. Beverly into the front court. 14-point deficit. Batum to Beverly. The pass taken away by the Lakers.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in first and second grade. It's called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively, you try to deny the next pass away, and you have to communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you will be able to stop a great passing team.
Here comes the screen. Nothing going here on that drive. LA with 4 to shoot. Paul George, now 4 for 9.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
LeBron into the front court. Lead is 12. The pass taken away by the Clippers. Beverly to George. Here comes the screen. George, the screen sets him up for two.
Oh, don't see the read. Be the read.
LBJ to Kyle Kuzma. Schroeder. To James. Has a look. Unbothered by the defense as he drills it.
Hey, one of the things I hear all the great teams say in the huddle, they say 1, 2, 3, no mercy. Now it's time for you to go even harder on the defensive end.
Finishing inside the paint on that one.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
To Kyle Kuzma. Schroeder. To Davis. Count it. Beverly into the front court. The deficit now up to a dozen. To Paul George. Converts in the paint. Nice finish at the rim.
And sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
It's James controlling the offense. To Schroeder. Kuzma to James. 5 to shoot for Los Angeles. Deep 2 there, won't go.
And this is where you know you have the offense right where you want them. Every possession, all you see them doing is complaining to the ref, complaining to each other. You're making the game uncomfortable. That's the mark of a good defense.
George, over to the right side. To George. Has a chance. The shot by George won't go down. Across midcourt, it's Schroeder. His team leads it by 10. James to Schroeder. They'll get it down to Davis. Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down.
I know there's that old saying that says one man can't beat 5, but we're watching one man carry 4 other players. His back has to be hurting. Another big-time finish.
That's what you like to see off the pick and roll. Nice, easy basket.
We call that get your money and put it in the bank.
Schroeder to Davis. Nothing going here on that drive. Doesn't have the touch. No good. Drives, but a shot won't go down. James into the front court. Lead stands at 10. Got a piece of it.
Jumping out the gym right now, Ed.
Great anticipation. And the reward, a couple of shots at the line.
Great job, Ed, by the shooter to create contact after the jump. That's how you get to the free throw line.
Paul George, a couple of free throws on the way. Hasn't missed yet. Knocks down the first. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. Here's Schroeder with it. His team on top by 8. Marcus Morris rejects it.
Blocking so many shots only gives your perimeter that much more confidence to really apply more pressure.
Drummond. That's not his range. It's no good. To Paul George. A drive down the lane, but the shot won't go down. Smith with the basketball. It's an 8-point lead. Here comes the screen. Smith to Schroeder. Nothing going here on that drive. Schroeder. And the Clippers able to clear the board. It's the Clippers with the possession now. Leonard to George. Leonard buries it on the catch and shoot.
And the game flow in the second half is completely different than the first. That first half equals out of sight, out of mind. Way to recalibrate in the locker room and find your rhythm back on the court.
Here comes the screen. Schroeder to J.R. Smith. Down to 5 on the 24. Smith to Schroeder from long range. Off the mark. Rondo with the basketball. The deficit now up to 5. Paul George. Oh, great pass. Setting up the basket.
And the last 10 sequences down the court, everybody's touched the ball. You don't see anybody with any kind of negative expressions on their face because everybody's eating.
Both coaches dipping into their reserves. Changes coming onto the floor. Schroeder to Davis. And watch him do the rest. Slam dunk. Whoa, he got up there.
Just showing you that 40-inch vertical.
It's LA Clippers ball. To Paul George. Probing the defense. Baseline drive. Shot from the lane won't go. Schroeder with the basketball. Up 5. To Davis. Slam dunk.
Oh, man, you're not supposed to be able to do that with that size, but in today's game, dexterity and mobility are off the charts for bigs.
Leonard to George. Nothing going here on that drive. George. Here's a chance from long range. Textbook defense.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
Leonard to Paul George. Here's Leonard for 2. And the rebound taken in by Davis. Across midcourt, it's Schroeder. The lead stands at 9. To Davis. No good. Paul George to Leonard. Old school. Backs his man down for the basket. Los Angeles has the basketball. Schroeder to Davis. Oh, he had him there for a second. And he's fouled. Davis going to the line for 2.
Smart play to rip through the extended arm of the defender. That will get you to the free throw line every time.
Misses the first. Good bounce back. Hits the second. It's a 1-of-2 trip. Rondo into the front court. His club's staring up at an 8-point deficit. To George. Here comes the screen. Trying to cash in. Rondo off the mark. Has a look. He buries it off the step back. Deep three at the buzzer. There's the buzzer. 3 quarters complete. The Lakers have the lead. It'll be Lakers ball as we begin the 4th quarter. They have clearly been the better side so far. Jay, that's reflected on the scoreboard.
Well, the cardinal rule in the game of sport is whenever you go into the 4th quarter, it's 0-0. You have to play the game with the scoreboard saying 0-0. And if you can win that game by double digits, then you've done your job in the 4th.
With a drop step. And that's rebounded by Kuzma. Lakers ball. Quinn Cook matched up with Paul George. To Drummond. They've slowed down the pace. Now 3 on the shot clock. That's a 24-second violation. Leonard. To Paul George. Strong finish for Paul George.
I don't think I could do that on a 5-foot rim.
I can, because that's my only choice. It's Cook with the basketball. Leads 5. Yes! And a foul. He'll have a chance at a 3-point play.
And I love the smile on the face of the offensive player. Sometimes luck is on your side. I don't know how that shot went in, but and one.
Kyle Kuzma at the line for a chance at a 3-point play. A career 70% free throw shooter. 1 free throw, count it. It's a 3-point play, and the lead up to 8. Leonard to Ibaka. Finish that. Has a chance. Missed it. He always has the green light, but the defense was ready.
I love when I see a good contest. You're crowding the player's landing space, which naturally makes him worrisome about turning an ankle on that landing.
He's on the deck. Great sacrifice. Cook to bring it into the front court. Looking to make something happen. Kuzma, he'll get it down low to Howard. Oh, emphatic slam.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. Andre Drummond with a piece. It's theirs now.
Here's one of the biggest secrets as we move into this new age of basketball, especially in the draft room. You have to draft players with size and length. That's the biggest deterrent for any team offensively.
lot of contact on that play. He plays through it and scores.
So many times you can tell if a player is going to finish before he even gets to the rim. Did you see that look on his face? That was a look of a three-point play. You always going in thinking you can get more at the rim.
Short jumper off the mark. Kuzma. Here comes the screen. The screen sets him up for two.
Clearly not afraid of the spotlight here because that was not an easy look.
To Marcus Morris. Trying to cash in. Rondo's shot won't go down. Lakers at the controls right now. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
You know, it reminds me out of a story a legendary coach once told me. He said, if you ever get in a fight, you're not going to hit somebody with an open hand, correct? You'll probably break a finger. But if you hit somebody with a fist, what is that? That's 5 fingers working collectively together as one. That's how you deliver a knockout punch, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
To Leonard. With the step back.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
Now the Lakers are going to call a timeout as they'll make sure they're all on the same page here in the fourth quarter. Time to adjust. Both coaches making changes on the floor. To J.R. Smith. From the painted area, won't go down. Beverly into the front court. 14-point deficit. Patrick Beverly. Now 3 for 9.
Might have had an extra dribble or two there, but he got the shot he wanted.
It's Cook with the basketball. He'll run the offense. To J.R. Smith. Caldwell Pope. Bad pass there. Clippers have it. And he scores on the step back.
What a move. If you're on defense, you can't be caught flat-footed there.
Los Angeles, they have it. To J.R. Smith. Probing the defense. Here comes the screen. To Drummond. And the slam. Jay, I'm surprised he had a chance to wrap him up.
Well, you're not the only one surprised. This guy is not a good free throw shooter. You never let him have an easy bucket. If anything, make him earn it at the charity stripe.
To Nick Batum. George. Almost. Unlucky bounce. Caldwell Pope against Paul George. Lakers down to 4 on the shot clock. Going to launch beyond the arc. Great defense, forcing the miss.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Kuzma. to Caldwell Pope. Lets it fly from long range. Too much contact. And free throws coming.
Great job, Ed, by the shooter to create contact after the jump. That's how you get to the free throw line.
And hits the first free throw. And he hits the second. Perfect from the line. Hits all three of them. LA Clippers with the basketball. Paul George to Marcus Morris. Sizing up the defense. To Ibaka. Serge Ibaka slams it down.
We call that get your money and put it in the bank.
Cook to bring it into the front court. His team on top by 13. Nothing going here on that drive. You've got to get that one to go. Beverly to Ibaka. Batum to George. Knocked loose. And that's going to get out of bounds. Off a Laker, so it'll stay with the LA Clippers. They're going to make some changes with some new personnel on the floor. George to Beverly. Dennis Schroeder pins it. And that's going to get out of bounds. Off a Laker. Beverly. Shot clock expires. 24-second violation. Schroeder to James. Free throws coming up.
Aggressive play there, but you can't fault the defender for being up in the shooter. You need to contest shots, each and every one of them.
First one goes down. And he makes them both. Clippers have the basketball to Paul George. Batum to Ibaka. Has a look. Shot by Ibaka won't go down. Here's Schroeder with it. The lead is 15. To James. Here comes the screen. James to Schroeder. Down to 5 on the 24. Caldwell Pope. Pulled down by Batum. Beverly into the front court. Trailing by 15. To George. Cleans it up. Whistled for the foul. Chance coming up at the free throw line.
Sometimes when you get up big, you get a little careless. But attention to detail through the end, that's how you avoid unnecessary fouls.
First try at the line, no good. Second one's good. Splits the pair. LeBron into the front court. His guys leading by 14. Nothing going here on that drive. Schroeder to James. Screen coming. 5 to shoot for Los Angeles. A drive to the basket, but the shot rattles in and out. Paul George to Ibaka. Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
Old school equals high percentage.
LeBron James with the rock. Schroeder to Kyle Kuzma. Schroeder to James. George to Beverly. Paul George to Marcus Morris. Down to 5. Down to 4 to shoot. George had made his first couple, but he misses there.
And big-time coaching strategy by the staff right there, utilizing their bench, keeping fresh legs on that shooter consistently throughout the course of the game.
Davis to James. Screen coming. Knocks it down off the step back.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Beverly into the front court. Trailing by 14. Gets it in the right corner. And that's going to be out of bounds off of George. James to Kyle Kuzma. Oh, Dennis Schroeder. He's 3 for 7. George on the drive, but his shot misses. Los Angeles has the basketball. LeBron matched up with Paul George. To Davis. Serge Ibaka able to recover with the block. Beverly into the front court. His guys down big. LeBron James tips it.
Don't stare him down like that afterwards.
And the rebound grabbed by the Clippers. George lets it fly. Can't connect. LeBron with it up top. His guys hold a commanding lead. Five on the shot clock. He scores on the step back. Jay, how did he get free?
This offseason, I heard so many voices, even that of the great Shaquille O'Neal, talking about how LBJ needed to submit his own legacy. Well, for LeBron, it's not about chasing external accolades. It's about hunting your own legacy, and that's to be the greatest of all time.
The Lakers get the victory. They've taken a commanding lead in this best-of-7 series. 3 games to none. 1 victory left. For my partner, Jay Williams, and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been the NBA Playoffs on EA Sports. Find out more at easports.com. Until next time, good night.
Here we go with the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Lakers got the win with a comfortable scoring margin. And these are the kind of highlights I love to see. Check out the defensive effort that turns so many shots into really embarrassing moments. Check out the leading scores for the Los Angeles Lakers. The Clippers just couldn't get within striking distance toward the end of the game. I'm sure they can't help but feel frustrated with the result, but they can't let that feeling linger. Sooner than later, they need to start thinking about the next matchup. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Los Angeles Clippers.
Game track. Assists.
The Los Angeles Lakers play fantastic team basketball today. Ball movement is clearly what separated these two squads.
Player of the game.
Anthony Davis seemed to think he could only score points with dunks in this game. Again and again, he kept throwing them down, and it was just astonishing.
Who was cold?
This isn't the segment you want to be in, of course, but even the best players find their way into this part of the show. These are the top plays of the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose. We look forward to seeing you again next time.